Hey, what's up everyone? Mike here with the watch list video for Monday, January 8th. The SPY closed after chopping around all day, closed slightly above its open. Um, Looks like lower volume too on Friday. Let me throw this over here real quick. I know most of you know this, but the short version, if you haven't seen it, pause the video and read that whole thing. The short version is I'm a day trader, right? Make my money between the bells. Before I get into what we're watching as far as in-play stocks for potential day trades on Monday, I'm going to throw up a couple hat tips to people. Matt D, there's a screenshot. If you weren't in chat on Friday, you missed some nice ones. He gave the Nvidia 487 idea, which was basically the second mouse through the whole number, high of day above for another catalyst, and it just took off from there. It actually ended up going, this was a screenshot that I took late morning, or midday maybe. It actually ended up going to 495.47, so almost $8.50 move on about $2 risk. Really nice idea by Matt D. Let me throw this up here. Cyrano gave the Peloton 650 idea. There's a screenshot from chat, and that would have been right there. Half number inflection point with a high of day above on a recent high flyer, right? Nice post by Cyrano on that one. And then Brian V. What makes this one special is that this wasn't even on the watch list. Actually, Matt's wasn't either. The Nvidia wasn't on my watch list either. But MRVL had this pop Thursday, right? And because of that pop, I should have had that on the watch list on Friday, and I forgot. I didn't. But Brian was still watching it, and you find that a lot, right? A lot of members in the room watching stuff that maybe I forgot. And that's why I always talk about the teamwork in the room. That was a great post by Brian. Posted it topped at 59, and then over 59 you have yesterday's high at 59.06. So there's the early 59 high, and there's the 59 break, and the quick move through Thursday's high. And actually MRVL ended up going to 61.15 from 59. So about a $2 move on about 50 cents risk. Some really neat posts, and not surprising coming from those guys. All right, so what are the in-play stocks that we'll be watching on Monday? Let me kind of make this one a little more normal looking. SGD had big volume on Friday, gapped up, closing well off its highs, but may give a trade on Monday, so certainly worth having on watch. Kind of the same thing with ZCAR, big pop on Friday. The thing really caught a bid, so maybe a follow-through day on Monday if we get an A+ setup. CCCC is interesting because, let's see, this would have been Wednesday. Hit 684, hit that number exactly again on Friday, 684. Certainly interesting over that number, but maybe we find a way in, knowing that 684 is an interesting catalyst, maybe we find a way in below that if it gives a proper setup on Monday. I love intraday trade setups with catalysts above, right? We always talk about stacked catalysts. LBPH is really extended from the moving averages, but is holding up really well after that big rip last week. So that one goes on watch. QS, let me pan out a little bit, kind of give you a better look at this. So that was a huge move on Thursday. Quiet inside day on Friday. It's a pretty clean setup for a possible third day play. So I like the looks of this QS one. SIDU. Let me go to, let's see, Thursday's high, 1410. Friday's high, 1411. Interesting over that area, knowing that the original pop topped at 1540, so that could be considered another potential catalyst. This one could be a tricky trader, so make sure it's A+ and watch the time of day and all that as well. But I like the looks of it. INGN, nice volume. I think this was the one Citron was kind of talking about on Friday, and it had big volume and a fairly strong close. Let me see Friday's high. 648, and then the most recent high to the left, 664. So maybe it breaks out over that area. Certainly worth keeping on a chart. FWBI is kind of obscure. Had this big pop, I don't know, a week and a half ago. But when we go to 15-minute candles, a little more interesting. You had this gap up here that topped at 615, and then Friday's high topped 599. I'm okay rounding that up in my brain to 6. So certainly interesting over 6, knowing that that 615 isn't far above, could act as another catalyst, and it's definitely kind of a recent high flyer because of this big pop back here. So anyway, I'm going to put it on watch, even though the daily chart Looks a little weird, right? OMGA gapped up on good news on Thursday, closed about where it opened, and then on Friday sold off a bit. So maybe a bounce play. I know it's kind of a weird look for a bounce play, but after the gap up, you had the high here, then a lower high on Friday. This one could catch a bid. All right, so I'm going to keep it on watch. It have decent news. WW is the old Weight Watchers, and it's down to support. See that horizontal line there, and it's been straight down for like a week, even over a week. I don't know, maybe 6, 7 red days in a row. So certainly an area that it might bounce off of. So that one goes on bounce watch. I'm going to put A and Y, which I believe Bitcoin related. Getting close to the 20-day in that buy zone area between the 8 and the 20. And Bitcoin, if it catches a bid, this is a good candidate for a turn back up. All right, anyway, that's it for me. We'll add gappers in the pre-market as we always do together on Monday. Let's just keep doing what we do, work together, love the teamwork, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I'll see you all in the chat room on Monday morning.